Well, that was awkward. One way to start the video. What's up, guys? How you doing? Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another Pokemon Unite video. As my phone falls to the floor. It is what it is, man. Hopefully everyone's doing okay, having a good time with this new hurricane, been surfacing around Philadelphia, New York City. Hopefully everyone's safe. We're gonna hop into this new Pokemon Unite tier video. An updated list with Blastoise and Blissey. Hopefully everyone's ready for this, man. We're just gonna slap them right on here. You know, we're gonna have different opinions, different thoughts than everybody else. Everyone has different tier lists. It's all personal opinion. Hopefully everyone, can get along and enjoy it. Let me know down in the comments, where you think certain Pokemon may be. Post it, my opinion. But hey, let's hop into this, man. Let's get some Pokemon right out of the way. Because they don't really need explanation, right? Some of them don't. We got that Lucario and the Ninetales. They will stick straight up in that top S spot, opposed to being in any other rank. These Pokemon right here have a detrimental to your team, especially when played in good hands. Like, they bring so much tools, CC, and damage to your team. They're pretty absurd not to take. Don't get me wrong, in solo queue, it's not like, hey man, you gotta pick the OPs. It's not like that. In group play, though, when you play with other people want to play, they want to win, right? They play to win. Some people play to have fun, that's fine. But at the same time, like, a competitive, like if you look at the ranking system, for example, like the higher ranks, most people play there in groups, and they want to play the best Pokemon. It is what it is. These Pokemon are absurd in group and in solo play. Like, they're all around just really, really good. And then you have your new Pokemon that we just came out with. Right here we have Blissey. I will be ranking her in the A tier. I think she is up there very, very highly. I think we need to see her, how you say, like, more so, before we can just generally just slap her into S tier rank, which, in the right hands, I think she's really dang good. But that argues with Eldergoss as well. I personally think Eldergoss is still maybe just a little bit better than Blissey, just because she brings a lot more to the table in terms of, like protection. But at the same time, I feel Blissey is actually really, really good in the right hands, because again, some people can play her like a ranged healer, when she's not. Like, you get into these solo games where Blissey is just like way in the back line, not doing anything except throwing eggs. Like, get your face in there, man. Tank some damage. Like, she's really bulky for people that don't know. Like, when you give her certain items and stuff, like, both sashes, both belts, focus bands, man, she can suck up a lot of damage. Buddy barriers, she's pretty tanky. Where Eldergoss is like that range support healer. You know what I mean? I don't think she's that main healer anymore, personally, but that's just me. We're gonna go ahead and get some of these other Pokemon out of the way. Like, I hate to say it, but your boy Garchomp is still D tier. Those buffs and those nerfs did not help him out. Like, what nerfs, you know what I mean? He's got nothing but buffs, but not good enough. He's still gonna hit down for D tier for me. I'm sorry, man. I love the Pokemon, but he's just not very good right now. Not a good spot. I'm not gonna hype him up. Hopefully no one else hypes this Pokemon up. He's not good right now. Like, you can just walk away from all of his damage, which generally you don't want to do. I mean, you want someone to do, but at the same sense, when you're playing Garchomp and you're just like, let me hit you for a couple times. Nah, I'm just gonna walk away. That's all you gotta do is walk away. You got no crowd control to hold you down, nothing. They buffed his Dragon Claw, Dragon Rush, so he has like a lower cooldown, so you can stick on a target, but at the same time, everyone else has more mobility, more crowd control, more CC. You know what I mean? It's just not a thing for him right now. He's just not as good. Then I personally think Crustle is a D tier Pokemon. Some people think he's a phenomenal tank. I don't think he's a tank at all. I think he's a bruiser. He's got that extremely high shield when he activates his ultimate with Buddy Barrier. But it just does damage. Doesn't necessarily do, like, let me crowd control somebody for you. Sure, he has that knockaway, but nah, bro. That's like, leave that to the actual tank Pokemon. That's just me. Some people will argue with that. It is what it is. Whereas you get that Slowbro here. I think Slowbro is definitely an A tier. I'm sorry, I think he's one of the best tanks in the game right now. Hands down. He's one of the only tanks that really hasn't been touched when it comes to bulkiness, and opposed to, like, damage. Nobody cares about his damage, they care about his crowd control. They nerfed his surf a little bit, but still has the best surf in the game, hands down. But we'll be putting Blastoise up here in this S tier right now. I'm sorry, guys, like, this Pokemon does so much for your squad in terms of bulkiness. Like, this man can tank damage. On top of his surf, it's actually pretty good. The only reason why I put him in S tier opposed to, like, Slowbro, for example, when it comes to surf, is because you can actually counter Slowbro, or what do you call it, Snorlax. Blastoise counters Snorlax. How, right? when Snorlax throws up his barrier, you can surf over his barrier and still hit everyone else behind him. Like, it's that good. I don't know how that happens, per se. Like, I don't know if that was intended, but it's something that, you know, we found out that you can actually surf over Snorlax's barrier. Try it out, in case you guys haven't seen it. Other than that, he just has crowd control. Like, he has slows, he's got a ranged water gun, obviously, that slows. Also, in case you guys don't know, his third auto attack counts as a special attack. So, you know, your basic attack damage? No, his third is special, in case y'all don't know, by the way. Which is actually really, really cool. So he's like a hybrid Pokemon that has basic attack damage and special attack damage for his basic attacks. It's really cool. Then we still have our Pokemon Snorlax, you know, I still think he's top tier. I mean, hands down, he is pretty phenomenal when it comes to what he does. Like, his barrier is actually still really, really strong inside choke points. He's still really tanky, he can support a lot of damage. And now there are people running around here just with Yawn and Flail. Like, Pokemon with this bulk and can do that much auto attack damage, it's pretty nuts if you haven't tried that out either. But in terms of tank, still best tank. Like, hands down, I think him and Blastoise got it tied for the best tank in the game right now. So now let's go ahead and get into some other things people want to talk about right now. I'm going to go ahead and drop this down here right quick. But I'll leave it alone. Really tough, hands down, S tier. Like, there's nothing to talk about. Like, this Pokemon is the epitome of bulk up. She does everything you want for her support. Everything. She has taunts, she's got shields, she doesn't have a heal, but if you want to stay safe and lane, you play with Wigglytuff as your support, dude. Like, no one's going to touch you in the right hands. If you want to chase down some Pokemon, you want, you know, those kills, you want to zone out Pokemon, she's got a taunt, AoE taunt to do that. Stuns on her slaps, which are AoE. Dude, she's got everything. But some people aren't a fan of Wigglytuff just because overall Pokemon, it's Wigglytuff. You know, it's not like something incredible, you know what I mean? But still, this Pokemon is very phenomenal for people that actually want to play support. Don't just try to troll in your Rasters games and your Ultra games, just playing her as DPS. Don't be like that. You know what I mean? Just picture yourself as support, and you would do just fine. Like, you get in there, as long as you have a competent team or a competent lane mate, you're gonna do some damage, guys. Trust me. You can go ahead and leave that where it is. I think she's still pretty dang going strong with her new buffs overall with the Wigglytuff. So, I mean, if you guys haven't played her, give her a shot. I'm gonna go ahead and put Pikachu down in C tier. We're gonna move. Sadly enough, we gotta do what we gotta do, man. Put Talonflame in C tier. Then we have Charizard in C tier as well. Now, some of these Pokemon do similar things, you know. Charizard, his auto attacks is horrendous. Like, they deal damage, but it's a lock on animation that kind of gets you stuck sometimes inside of like a mix of, you know, 5v5s. Sometimes it's pretty bad. But at the same sense, he just doesn't do that much damage anymore. Like, he really doesn't. He got a nice buff, don't get me wrong, his buff is pretty good. But it's not gonna like cement him into like an S tier rank or like an A tier rank when you have somebody like Lucario and Ninetales and some other Pokemon on this list. But he's still pretty good. Especially when you have, you know, your Ignite move and you're going on doing all that damage. It can still be pretty oppressive, especially for newer players when they don't understand how Charizard works. But like, when you get to the Masters and Ultra tier, you don't really see him that often, that much. I just think he kind of falls off in those ranks. But hey, man, let me know what you guys think. Talonflame, personally, this is where I view Talonflame right here. This is where I view Talonflame in A tier. That's just me. But that's because I'm biased, you know what I mean, with Talonflame. Now, I think you can be an S-rank Talonflame, just overall. But, I mean, we can leave him here in B. Just because I think he requires game knowledge and skill. You know, I think that's what he requires to play him. You have to know how much damage you can deal and when you can be effective in certain situations. Because if you guys don't know, I'm sure you guys see my videos and other people's videos on Talonflame. Fly does so much burst damage and people sleep on it. You can one-shot whole teams if you come in at the right time. You really can. This Pokemon is phenomenal. Please don't sleep on Talonflame, guys. Like I said, S-rank, right hands, fantastic. If not, we'll leave him here for, like, I guess, the average, if that makes sense. Because most Talonflames you see in your games are not very good, right? They're just hit or miss. That's just how I look at it. Pikachu is absolute same tier as I'd put Charizard, same tier as some of these other Pokemon. Pikachu used to be like phenomenal during the beta. His damage was nuts, and then they nerfed him a little bit. They made him, how you say, like level with other Pokemon, I guess you could say, in that aspect, but not really. They kind of gutted Pikachu. Now he's not very good anymore. His damage is not very, oh my god, that hurts anymore. So he's more of like a support DPS. This is how I look at him now. And that's what it is, you know, fan favorite Pokemon Pikachu. You know, he's the poster child, but still not as good anymore. He's really not. Let's take everyone else's favorite Pokemon we got going on here, Gengar. This is where people want Gengar now, because, you know, the Hex nerf. No. I still think, personally, just kind of like Talonflame, you either see him or you don't. In Masters games, you don't really see that many Gengars anymore, but when you do, they're hit or miss, right? So for me, personally, I think he's A-rank. That's just me. He was S-rank for pre-patch, because again, Hex Sludge Bomb was just, you can one-shot, two-shot certain Pokemon. Now I think you have to play him with either Hex or Sludge Bomb, or play Shadow Ball. Yeah, Shadow Ball, guys. Keep in mind, Shadow Ball 3 meter. Play him as a poke. I don't think he's as dominant as he was before, but he's still super strong. You guys have seen my videos, you guys have seen many other Pokemon Gengar videos. This Pokemon is phenomenal, played in the right hands, regardless of what people think and their opinions. I don't think any Pokemon is absolute trash, sadly enough, besides Garchomp and, you know, Crustle. That's just me. Just because their play state and where they are in the game. Other than that, man, Gengar is phenomenal. Please keep playing Gengar, guys. If he's your favorite Pokemon, don't listen to people when they tell you he's trash. You can still play Hex, you can still play Sleep or Sludge Bomb. It's still okay, just kind of mediocre damage right now. But if you want to get good with Gengar, you play Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball's the way it is, man. Play Pokemon, play Nidalee, you play Gengar. Like, he's so much fun now. Go ahead and put up my boy Greninja, S-rank. And this will do it for the S-rank Pokemon right now. This is my opinion. This is what S-rank is at this moment in time. Greninja is definitely hands down the best jungler in this entire game. The fastest clears. You play him like an assassin, not a range AD carry, like an assassin. You work for those backlines, you get those surf executes, you move on. This Pokemon can push your lead in a game just by himself, when played right. He's just so dang good. Not water shuriken. That ability is absolute trash to me. Like, it's a skill shot. It's not a, you hit the button and it's a buff. No. You have to land the water shurikens afterwards. And why would you get water shuriken when you can just get his other ability? Like, smokescreen, surf, that's where it's at, guys. Keep in mind. Smokescreen, surf, wins games. Water shuriken, you're trolling. We take up Absol here, put Absol in the C tier as well. Yes, Talonflame to me is better than Absol. It's just personal preference. I think Absol is really good for early game, like meaning like low ranks, because you can one-shot. A lot of people don't understand how much damage Absol does when you get him from behind. But in Masters and Ultra ranks, in my personal experience, I don't really see Absol played that much. I'm sure there are some very phenomenal Absol players out there. I'm sure there are. Just, you don't see the Pokemon. You really don't. I don't know why, you just don't see the Pokemon. I don't think it has high carry potential when it comes to what it can do when it comes to Zapdos fights and choke points, you know what I mean? Like, if you're facing a Snorlax and he has a shield in front of your face and your squad's behind it, and you're Absol, like, what do? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's pretty bad in that scenario, because he works around ganks, he works around getting from behind, he works around a flank. Not like Greninja, where Greninja has a stealth and he can reposition himself. I don't think Absol is as good. That's just me. I'll put Gardevoir here in the B tier. You got Gardevoir in the B tier. You got your Mr. Mime in the A tier. And you got your Machamp here in the B tier. Now these should be self-explanatory. Mr. Mime is actually phenomenal. We all know Mr. Mime does. You got that barrier and that confusion, where he smacks you into a barrier. A barrier is simply like Snorlax's wall. You can't go past it. You got to walk around it. If he smacks you into it with confusion, you take added damage. If he hits you into any obstacle with confusion, you take added damage. He's a support Pokemon, but trust me, his confusion will nuke your HP, just like that. 100 to 0 instantly. Machamp, kind of like Talonflame, Gardevoir. I think it's a mindset, a knowledge type ordeal. Like, you have to know when to go in to be effective. Whereas Gardevoir is useless in lane until she gets her pre-evolution. Also, you gotta keep in mind with Machamp, it's kind of the same thing. Until you get submission, you don't do anything in lane. But once you get submission, you have to have that mindset, that knowledge, when to go in, who to go after. what can I do in this situation? If you get good as him, of course, you can see yourself in a higher tier, higher rank. But to me, he's an average Pokemon. Same thing with Gardevoir. She is that late game monster at Zapdos. True, correct, 100%. She does work. Like, she does a lot of damage. But for me, if you're good with her, she can be an S tier. But you don't really see that many Gardevoirs that are good, because what happens is when they get behind in early game, they kind of just like, I'm gonna go over here and farm these Adinos while you guys are trying to do Dreadnought. You know what I mean? That happens a lot. And you end up losing those games. Or she'll try to sit here and unite move whole like 5 groups of Pokemon who look for those pentakills. She won't try to get 1 or 2 targets. She wants those big plays. That's not what you want in your squad. It's more of a mindset thing to get better with certain Pokemon. That's just me. So Holowear, gonna be an A tier. He used to be an S tier. Used to be, but there was still, he got a little nerf a little bit. Not too bad, but a little nerf a little bit. I still think he's a new player stomper, essentially. He does a lot of damage for no reason. He's still 100 OU, just was an ultimate alone, which is busted in my opinion. You press the ult, delete somebody. But that shouldn't be all he is, you know what I mean? But hey man, some people just feel that he's very, very overpowered. I used to feel like that in the beginning when I used to get one shot for him for no reason. But now it's like once you play him and get his kit down and realize, where he struggles and what he can do and what he can't do, I don't see him as an S tier Pokemon anymore. But yeah, my opinion is me. Your boy Cinderace used to be up here for everyone's tier list, pretty much. Like, this Pokemon used to be phenomenal, right? Always up here. Now, once people start playing the game and realize, where certain Pokemon are and what certain Pokemon can do, it's a little different. I will be putting him in B tier, because nowadays it's either hit or miss with him too. Like, you see really good Cinderace players, you see really good Vayne players in League of Legends, kind of similar Pokemon. Or similar champion, whatever you want to call it. But now it's like, you can play so many other DPS Pokemon now. You don't really have to play Cinderace to win games. It's not the pick Cinderace, oh gosh, I'm gonna lose type of ordeal. He used to be. He did. Now he's kind of mediocre. And I don't feel it's, if you see good ones, he's up here. I don't feel like that. I feel the Pokemon is brain dead easy. I'm sorry, he's just the easiest Pokemon I think to play in this game. You don't have to be good with him, you just have to auto attack. That's all you have to do. And you have to dodge. You know what I mean? That's it. But opposed to like damage and stuff, I don't think he's top tier anymore. Especially when we have Lucario and Greninja now, you know what I mean? It's just, no. Sorry guys. Cramorant will be A tier, just because the amount of crowd control this Pokemon brings to a party is pretty phenomenal. Especially when you have him paired in lane with like somebody like Snorlax, or any other tanky Pokemon like Ninetales. And I do say tanky, because if you ain't building tank items on Ninetales, you ain't doing it right. Okay, I'm sorry. DPS item? No, get out of here. But having 2 crowd control Pokemons in the lane is pretty dominant, especially when you guys go rotate for Dreadnoughts. This Pokemon right here, Cramorant, dude, can just clear a whole team fight just with his ultimate alone. If a team walks into a choke point, you don't see Cramorant, 9 out of 10 is hiding in the bush getting ready to pop you with his Unite move. Just keep that in mind, dude. This Pokemon is pretty unpredictable, but pretty good in the right hands. Venusaur? My boy Venusaur though. I want to put this Pokemon in S tier so bad, like I want to be biased and do it, but I don't think so. I don't think I can do that. We're gonna put him in A tier. Now, the problem is with Venusaur, this Pokemon right here is phenomenal. That's all I got for you. He's phenomenal. I slept on him a lot. Don't get me wrong. I disregarded Venusaur for the longest time. But now, if they're playing him extensively, after his rework, by the way, Solar Beam, this is the true sniper Pokemon. And you don't even have to be in melee range. You can be like a football field away. You can hit somebody with a Solar Beam and walk away. Cool guys don't look at explosions, man. That's pretty much what Venusaur is. You snipe somebody with Solar Beam, their HP melts. You get somebody in a 5v5 team fight and you hit 2 or 3 Pokemon with Solar Beam, their team melts. Solar Beam does so much damage for what very, very, very little value you gotta do. You just gotta be in a decent position and just clip people with Solar Beam. And maybe toss an ultimate in there or 2. That's all you gotta do. And his Vine Whip animation for his 3rd auto attack can crit, in case people don't know. It does do physical damage. It does do phenomenal physical damage. Sometimes it's very like, oh god, that hurts. You know what I mean? This Pokemon's so much fun. If you guys haven't picked him up, please do. His jungle potential, by the way, is absolutely really good. It's really, really good clear. You come out of a bush to gank a lane, or come out of a bush to help with bees, just Solar Beam. That's all you gotta do, man. Solar Beam. This Pokemon is that good. Hey, man, this has been Pawseplays. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. Enjoy it, man. I got a couple guides coming up here for my boy Lucario. I am gonna sit down and play some more Lucario. It's been a minute since I actually posted a video on Lucario. Not because I didn't feel like it, but like, this Pokemon is just so disgusting. And there's so many different builds out there for him to play. There's Power Punch, there's Extreme Speed, there's different people who have different mindsets. There's so many things going on with Lucario. I think Lucario needs an extensive time frame to explain certain situations. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain situations where you want to go into a team fight and you don't, vice versa. But hey, man, Lucario's coming up next. I got some more new thumbnails coming up for Sylveon, Mamoswine. Stay tuned. Those are new Pokemon that we're getting here soon. I know you guys are excited for them. Sylveon's going to be fantastic. I'm not going to say when they're coming out, but they're coming. Coming soon, trust me. But other than that, man, this has been Pawseplays. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. We're going to go out for a little bit. Have a good day today before it starts to rain. Stay safe, everybody. See you next time.